Good afternoon. This is Gail Charette, and I'm calling this meeting of the Yarmouth Commission on Disability to order at 3:02 p.m. Sarah will now read the open meeting law, please.
This is to formally advise that as required by Massachusetts General Law, Chapter 30A, Sections 18 to 25, and pursuant to Chapter 20 of the Acts of 2021, an act relative to extending certain COVID-19 measures adopted during the state of emergency, signed into law on June 16, 2021, as extended by Chapter 2 of the Acts of 2023, the Yarmouth Commission on Disability will hold a public meeting on Thursday, November 9th, 2023 at 3:00 p.m. at Yarmouth Town Hall, 1146 Route 28, South Yarmouth. The public is welcome to attend either in person or via the alternative public access provided on the agenda. We are now turning to the first item on the agenda. Before we do so, permit me to cover some ground rules for effective and clear conduct of our business and to ensure accurate meeting minutes. Our chair will introduce each speaker on the agenda. If you're participating remotely, I don't think you need to mute because we only have one remote person. Evelyn, I think you're fine to stay the way you are. When a participant wishes to interject a question or comment, please wave your hand physically or remotely and ask to be recognized. We will now proceed with the meeting.
As a preliminary matter, I will confirm for the record the members and staff present and that they can hear me. Members, when I call your name, please respond in the affirmative. Jean Boyle.
Here.
Drew Kraus.
Here.
Jessica Simmons. Mary Vilbon. Here. Donna Arnold. Here. And Gail Charette. Here. Staff, when I call your name, please respond in the affirmative. Sarah O'Reilly,
Here.
Director. Resources. Today we have with us Evelyn. Hey, Evelyn. Nice that you can be here today.
Thank you.
Evelyn. We'd like to welcome Evelyn at this time. And as we go forward, if you wish to comment, wave your hand or raise your hand. Also, if Jean, would you please keep an eye out on the screen and tell me if Evelyn has a comment and everybody else can look forward to. Thank you. Okay. Motion on accepting the minutes of October 19th.
I second.
Okay, all right. Are there any discussion? It is time to vote. Gail Charette. Yes. Jean Boyle.
Yes.
Drew Kraus.
Yes.
Just Evelyn. Donna.
Yes.
Arnold and Mary Vilbon. Yes. Thank you. As we move forward, we're going to do some updates on the tracker, and we have a quest. We completed the letter, and we just have to get the owner's information, and we'll take care of that. You had sent me some information on that, and I just couldn't have the time, I guess, to expand it because it was so small I couldn't see it.
Oh, okay. I just couldn't do it at that moment. I'm happy to look it up, but I just
No,
it's
that's
been
okay.
a little crazy.
I
right
didn't
now.
know if it also included the plazas. I couldn't see that.
It's every commercial property owner in the town.
But there's no, like, it doesn't reference a plaza. Like
It's it's by address, and I
Okay.
believe it does reference Sunflower.
Okay, because
Yeah.
okay, well.
I think I'm
take-
pretty sure I remember seeing
They
that.
call that Sunflower Marketplace.
Yeah.
Is how they refer
Okay,
to it.
I'll take another look at it. I'm printed out. Xfinity, Sarah, thank you so much for sending out the letter. The next one is MRI Shields. Any new news since last month? It's
Have
still in
not
the works. Okay. The old Shockies. We have to reopen this tracker, and I don't, because the signs are still not available on the site. And I'm not sure if we should send them a separate letter or if we should
What-
include it.
What signs are?
The handicap sign, parking lot.
I thought in one of the minutes it said it was done, no?
It was, well, that area wasn't done. I guess it's a big parking lot.
Yeah,
And when Jean went by, there's no signs where the entrance is for that shop.
Oh, was it Sharky's that we got the complaint about?
Yes.
Or Scally's?
no,
No,
Sharky's.
Sharky's.
For
So
sure?
Does
Yes.
Angie own that? Does Angie own the building?
I don't know who owns the building.
Yeah.
Let me find out. I think
Okay.
I know the owner of the building and she's the one that would be responsible probably. So
Okay.
I'll talk to her and if she owns the building, I'll address the issue with her. If she doesn't own it, I'll see if she knows who does, because she owns Scally's.
Oh, okay.
So
And they do have the handicap symbol painted in the lines, but there is no sign on the wall.
I'm gonna step out for just a minute. I'll be right back. I just want to grab my folder, because I thought the letter was to.
So the thank you letter was sent to Xfinity.
Yes,
The thank you letter to Xfinity for taking care of it.
yes,
And what's the story on Quest now? A letter was composed or
yes, we composed a
Created.
letter, yeah.
it's not, hasn't been,
No, it has to be,
sent yet?
yeah.
to be sent to.
you still need to
management.
review it, let's say, and
The
then
letter
send it.
is, we've already, I've written the letter. And now it's just going to, I just need the carbon copy for the landlord. Because I'm going to send him,
Is it the landlord or, because the
doing
landlord
both.
fixed the plat, so it needs to go to Quest
I'm doing, yeah,
management.
right, I'm doing Quest management.
That's what you
And
need
then
is,
and then carbon copy it to, and
And
also the building inspector.
Did
but
you
they
make
don't.
mention of Shields also?
Yeah, Shields was, nothing has,
No
it's
new
just
update
no
on
new
the-
update,
No
right.
update, okay.
So,
and then you can put down that Mary will follow up.
Right, that's what I
Possible
put, that's
Yeah.
just, yeah. Gotcha, very good.
Sarah, while you're
Thanks.
doing
Just wanted
that,
to
I'm
make
gonna just continue and then you could just commit.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Great, thank you.
No, it's good, you made
All right.
sure, I appreciate it.
Yeah, it is it is Scally's that the.
Oh, it's
complaint was
Scally's?
About, yeah.
Okay, so the
They're
complaint,
fine.
Yeah, they don't have a problem.
Yeah, Scally's is the one that received we received the.
We've been
complaining
talking
it.
about Sharky's.
Not
for months.
Sharky's.
Oh.
Well,
Okay,
we've been talking
now let-
about Sharky's for months.
I'd
But
like
I
to
don't
make
think
a comment.
Sharky's has any received any notification that
Let's stop right now then.
Okay.
I want to try this, I'm sorry to, so it sounds like Scally's did have a problem, which has been taken care of, right? Scally's,
correct.
is that correct?
Yes.
So that's all done, Scally's, but maybe we need to think about opening a case about Sharky's. Is that how?
We
it-
have to
I think
address
the
Sharky's.
issue is Scally's there was a concern raised to the state about Scally's.
Okay,
Then I believe Gail and Jean went there and
Yeah.
we've been
Yeah.
talking about Sharky's.
Sharky's.
It's around the corner.
Which is, so, but
Mhm.
as of right now, I don't think Sharky's. Unless it's the same owner, I don't know that they have there's nothing on record that they've received a concern. from the
Right.
Right,
state, so
exactly.
They wouldn't know any different.
And they're
Correct.
closed now for the season. They're gone.
okay,
So let me still reach out to Angie, who I
Right.
believe owns the building, who would
right.
potentially be
So
responsible.
let me see if I get it. So Scally's is done with, right? Scally's is
Yes.
done with. And we're thinking about keeping our eyes open about Sharky's and,
Yeah, can you see?
Yes.
but this is not a urgent matter because they're not going to be open for a while.
And they've
I
never been
understand.
notified
Right,
to begin. with.
right. So we're just contemplating it.
If they haven't received notification from the state, they're just like everyone else.
They're
out
none the
there.
wiser. They don't
They're
know.
not finding
Yeah,
out.
right.
It's just that you guys noticed they don't have proper signage, right?
Because we thought they were reported to the state. So we were following up.
It's all one building. so-
Yeah.
They
Okay,
both start with an S, with
So I
an
have-
SC sound. Scout, no, they don't, sorry. I
Good try.
outsmarted myself.
Start with the same letter.
Just tell me.
All right,
good
carry
boy,
on.
Pat me on the
Good
head
boy.
and I'll shut up.
carry on, that's a. Our members' term status. For the select board's handbook, we have to contact the administrative office and appointed chair of the select board 1 month in advance of when we are going to be, our term is ended. So both Jean and I are up for renewal come January 24th. I mean, January 2024. So I calculated it to be no later than December 6th. We need to contact,
We need to contact them.
yeah. I don't know how we do that. Do we email them or just?
Maybe they send us a letter.
No, they don't do anything.
They
It's our
don't?
No,
responsibility.
we better, yeah.
So,
I guess the question is, are you interested in renewing? Are you interested in being reappointed?
I nominate her.
oh, you have to
Yeah.
do that? Well, don't we have until that time to think about it?
You do, but do we have another meeting between now
We
and
do, we
then?
have the one on the 14th.
No, it's too late. Okay. I mean, I plan on staying on, God willing. I mean, you know,
I'll nominate her as chair.
oh,
Yeah,
I don't know
I-
about that.
I just did. I looked at it and I said, okay, you dragged me in. You've been contacting me and they'll leave. I knew you weren't,
Yeah.
but.
Well, that was quick. It was a 2-year appointment,
So
I guess. I
if you
wasn't
wanna, if you don't wanna be put on the spot, you can let me know what your intentions are and then I can pass that.
Well, I'd like to ask,
Oh, I'm gonna join, but I
Yeah.
mean, I'm just saying, I'm not sure. I have some medical issues I have to deal with. I'm not sure if I'm gonna have my eyes done. I don't know what I'm doing because it's just overwhelming for me. So I want to stay on, definitely, you know, and I hope I can stay on, you know, as a chairperson, but it all depends upon what's going on. So yes, I'm staying on, whether it's a member.
do you
or
want to
whatever.
stay on too?
Jean, and Jean's staying
Okay.
on. Okay, good.
I just, remind me how long you've been serving as chairperson now. It's escaping me.
It will
Let's,
be a year, January. But see, really, I'm not really up for renewal until
renewal of
the end
what?
of the chairperson, if I'm staying on, is June, right?
Right,
So at that point, you know, we can discuss.
chairperson?
Yeah.
That's
right.
what I wanted. That's
Yeah,
really
see,
great. That's
yeah.
the kind of stuff
See,
I wanted to hear.
Yeah, yeah,
That kind of thing. That's great.
exactly.
Very good.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
And who do
you need to notify that you're staying on?
Yeah, now how do we do that, Sarah?
So
never saw that.
I can contact the appointments chair
Oh,
of
that's
the
right, you're
board.
ADA, yeah.
You can
perfect.
let them know
good.
that you're interested and then they
Okay.
will contact you with your reappointment letter.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Perfect.
That
All
sounds great.
right.
Me too.
Yes, of
Thank you.
course.
Okay.
Okay, so you both want to stay on.
Yeah.
That's official.
Okay.
And, you know,
Donna's like, phew.
just by consensus, we've agreed using our own process that we all want you to be reappointed. So
Yeah, and
that's
I-
it.
and I enjoyed
If we don't
doing
have to
this,
have
it's
votes
just-
or anything.
So the next thing is the conflict of interest. Has everybody completed it so far?
Yes.
Yes, I have.
Perfect. So we're all set there. We're in compliance. That was wonderful. It wasn't any easy, right? It was much easier than last time.
Yep.
The process, I think. All right, the next one is business initiative update from Jean and Mary. So
Okay, I have a couple of questions. Was Mary approved as a signator on that letter? We were kind of waiting on that.
Oh, I don't, no,
Because
there's no
it-
issue with Mary signing the letter.
So
Yeah.
you need to edit the letter.
Okay.
And add.
I was waiting to hear back from you guys on the mailing list. That's kind of where I thought we left off.
Well,
So I was confused, because I don't know how to go through that.
oh, that's wonderful. Now we can talk.
Okay, hurry up, Tim.
No,
I like
we
it
didn't
better
lose
the other
Evelyn
way.
the whole time.
Oh, she's on the computer.
She's on, I think.
Maybe.
Can you hear me, Evelyn? Oh, no.
All of a sudden, my screen went black. I don't know what's happening.
We
Oh,
lost power. We're just, we're just,
Somebody must have hit something.
I don't know what happened.
Something must have hit something.
Well, I meant
Oh.
like a cow must have hit could have hit a pole.
There we go. We're coming back.
Okay.
Look like there's anything.
She's not on the screen yet, but she can see us, just so you know,
Okay.
so we can.
so then, I have questions, Sarah. I thought you said you would be able to do labels. for
I
them.
can, as soon as I know what's gonna be on the label.
Show the label, she wants us to go through the list and
Sorry. Sorry.
So did you get a list? I wasn't here in October, but I know in September you were talking about getting a
Yes.
list together.
well, you had cleaned up the list and I
She
think I
doesn't
responded
do
to you
this.
that I thought there were duplicates on there, so I was questioning what you had removed when you could clearly. see
Correct, and
duplicates.
there were two lists, so the initial one was just no
Everything.
edits.
Right,
The second one that I sent you, the duplicates were removed.
so I don't remember seeing that one.
I can resend it again.
Okay,
I thought I didn't receive it either, but I think she
It's the one
put
that
it
I
on the original back in October. And I probably just saw that thinking about the old.
Bless you.
well, I saw the letter, I even searched.
It
my
was on
email.
the same one with the letter.
So that was the
Yeah.
one I saw duplicates on. That's why
Okay,
I
then
was
you're gonna
conf-
have to tell me what they are, cause I,
Okay,
yeah,
I'll have to pull them up again.
okay.
I'll do that tomorrow.
So I know you guys are talking about a list of commercial property owners, right?
Correct.
And making up. Did you,
This is related to the letter that we've been talking about.
did you make the letter?
The letter
Compose
is
the
com-
letter?
The letter's complete. I just have to add a line for Mary to sign it.
Okay,
And
and
it's
then the
approved.
confusion is getting duplicates off the list.
So
And
that
once
the
that's
town's not
done-
paying postage, yeah.
And once the duplicates are done away with, you can forge ahead, right?
Yep,
Not bad.
And then
what
you'd
does
be
the
able
letter
to do
say?
labels?
Donna,
correct. Or
Like-
we'll probably just do it window envelopes, so we don't need to do labels. We can just
Saves time, just do it.
stuff
right on.
the letters
I
into
don't
the
have a
envelope.
copy of it.
Now, can I help in any way?
That would be awesome.
And I took, no, and I told you I have staff that would. so-
Yeah, whatever.
But
whatever
we'd
comes in.
have to do the stuffing and
Yeah,
all that.
so
Very
if you
staff
can
will
print
be
the
the
envelopes,
stuff,
once we
so.
clean the list up. If anyone that wants can come to my office, and I have staff that would love a project like that.
Okay.
There we go.
Neither. Donna wanted to be filled in on what this letter is.
So this is a
Substance of.
letter, we're sending a letter out to all of the local commercial property owners about accessible parking, basically.
Okay.
Notifying them what the,
Marvin's.
yeah.
But it's
Like a
doing it in a
one
very
page-
nice and friendly way, like, you know, thank you. We hope you had a great season in 2023. We want to thank you for welcoming our residents and our guests to the town. You know, we just want to make sure that you're aware and we, you know, we give some statistics about the number of people that have a disability on the Cape, right? Because they're your consumer, right? So basically, the more you accommodate them, it's to your benefit, right? So, and then there's one or two attachments that go, one
This
back
is
to back.
One back to, yep.
And Mary
There you
will
go.
also sign it
That sounds really.
as a
Way you
chairperson.
explain.
This will go with it.
Yeah.
It's all about the HP parking. And
Just
this will
doing
go
the
with it
same
all.
Okay.
Just giving them.
Nice.
you know, the measurements.
So I was just thinking, and I know it will probably get too big, but that tax thing, it wouldn't be a bad thing.
The
to
tax
put in
and-
there.
Hmm.
If
do
we're
have the
asking them to
information.
think about,
I do have the,
I mean,
you know,
reduction, yeah.
I'm sorry, we were talking to my, tax information.
So-
That's a great idea.
Adding information.
whether that's too big to do it now or to do it later. But if we're asking them to think about how they could improve the accessibility, we might as well let them know. Talk to your accountant, there could be tax incentives for you.
Yeah, there's a.
We could even add it rather than do the whole flyer if we wanted. We could just put the code. If we didn't want to send a whole new page.
The whole process of having, no,
Or,
so
I
we
mean,
could just edit
do you
that.
have
and
the
just
flyer?
add-
I might have one here. Or you could just
Yeah, we could get it.
do the
Just add it.
flyer separate. I have it right here. So whether we,
There it is, right there.
She's got it.
Can I see it?
yeah, I got writing on it, but of different stuff, I think.
Federal tax incentives.
And at the same time, what we were gonna do, we're doing the hard copy mailing. The chamber was gonna send this out as a separate e-blast.
Nice.
So it'll go to 600 contacts in the business community. So even if 2 people read it and take action on it, it's 2 more people that,
Yeah, and the chamber list is gonna be slightly different because they're gonna be approaching it from the occupants, whoever the occupant
Right,
is.
versus the owners.
Property, and then we're gonna approach it from the owner, so.
So is your idea to stuff this flyer into the
Well,
envelope or what?
I think that would be too much information. I'm thinking a sentence informing them.
There's a webpage.
Yeah, why don't we just send the link?
I tried using the webpage that we had, and that's why I said it didn't come up. So, we get the webpage and, that there, and they could just look it up that way. That's the
Mhm.
best way.
And,
Yeah.
yeah, just tell them that it's
Yeah.
available.
Add link.
The link,
That's in-
right.
in sentence.
then maybe what we could do as a chamber next month.
Could do
like, if
another
people-
e-blast.
Like just do a separate one on the tax incentive.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
You
a
know
good
what I
idea.
mean? Like, and, people have to see things 7 times before they take an action.
So this will be
Crazy.
2, only 5 to go.
Right. No, but if we do that, every other month
Yeah.
before spring comes, right?
You
then-
hit the magic.
And though some of the
Critical mass
businesses have
eventually.
a different year end, it's too late for them now anyways.
Right.
But if we got it out in January, February, they could talk to their accountant in April.
That's right.
We've just posted it in our office. It actually just sits on the coffee table in a plastic sleeve so that if people come in and ask about it, and it was something actually my husband said, I haven't thought about that or seen that.
Hmm.
So.
And again, it takes a while to see it, right? To think
That's good.
about, yeah,
That's good.
okay.
Okay, so where do we stand on this now?
So I'm gonna look at the list tomorrow. I will respond to Sarah. I'll CC you and Gail on it.
Okay,
And make my suggestions on what I see as duplications, okay?
Okay, good.
And then as soon as the envelopes are printed and the letters are printed, you guys can come to my office and,
Yeah, so I'm not gonna print envelopes. I'm gonna just give you window envelopes
oh, yeah, okay,
and letters,
perfect.
because then we don't have to
Oh,
do
yeah, no
2
labels,
steps.
yeah.
then where will we?
The
Where,
letters will
I don't
have the
understand.
addresses on them.
So
each letter will have their address on it?
No, it'll be a
Really?
window.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, the address will be on the letter,
Okay.
yeah.
They understand.
then you just fold it and.
I
stuff it
trust.
in.
They know.
Oh, me too. I'm a long ways from doing.
Yeah,
this kind of
because
stuff.
from that Excel spreadsheet with all the,
Mhm.
we can do a mail merge. So that the letter has the address on it,
Mhm.
and then put it into a window envelope. That way we don't have to do labels and envelopes and stuffing. Yes,
That's a
See,
good
I
idea.
barely know about stuff like that. But you guys.
we got it.
Routine, right? Day in, day out, right?
So when we have all of that, Mary, we can plan to come to your.
We'll have a
office.
party.
Okay,
God.
and if we need more help, I could get it too.
Right.
All right.
So,
Thanks.
Mary, could you fill us in on the human interest story that you're
Mhm.
thinking about?
Yep, so I've already drafted the article and now, so the individual we're writing about is our staff member Christina that worked
Right.
for us this past summer. And so I'm just waiting for her and her mom to approve it. And
Okay.
then David Botting, who is on this commission,
Yeah.
he actually oversees the program that Christina is in.
Okay.
So he'll actually read it to input as well.
Okay, good. Very
So
good.
we'll have that ready for you within probably 2 weeks at the
Okay,
tops.
perfect. And I spoke to Gretchen.
Mhm.
She's in charge of the milestone.
Yep.
Milestones, and I mentioned to her that Cambridge would like some books, so she said, I'll take care of it.
And I think she brought some over
That's right,
because
she
my
did.
staff member was like, wow, look at, we got them back.
Yeah,
So
so-
perfect.
So that's good.
What did you get?
We used to get those all the
Right.
time
Yeah.
and no, we haven't seen them all
Oh,
summer.
Great.
And
but now
so
they
she
did it.
prompted them and we've got
Yeah.
a pile in the visitor center.
So,
It's good.
Gretchen,
It's an accomplishment that's
Yes.
worthy of note.
so
Yes.
I want to make a note, in the milestone. When Drew and I put our article together, we were told up front there may be times where we have to cut it short. Okay? but nobody talked to us about it, so they just did whatever they wanted to do, their own discretion. And unfortunately, had I known, that's what I was talking to Gretchen about. I'd like to communicate with her on that, you know, in the future. That I would have eliminated all of this and just kept this, okay? But they took the top part.
Oh,
Okay, so we had a new member announcement that we wanted to put in, and hopefully we can put it in if we have the room. And this is what it is. It says, YCOD is delighted to announce the appointment of Ms. Donna Arnold. She is a staunch advocate for the disability community. We are fortunate to have a conscientious individual on this commission. YCOD advocates for the disability community and is seeking new members who are ready to give their time and talent to a worthy cause. So
Thank
it
you.
will be in there. but it
Doesn't need to go in, but that's very nice.
And I have I would like to give everybody a milestone book before you leave. So that'll be cool. All right, guys.
nice. That's very nice.
And I asked Gretchen if she would kindly, maybe, you know, come to a meeting, and she said, yes, she'd love to. So she's gonna come on, January, if that's okay with everybody. And this way we can, ask any questions we want and, you know, try to get, because this is a great community for us, right? It's free and, you know, it's wonderful. And another thing about it is that because we're really on a time, you know, constraint, like we have to get it in the month before. Like if it's for January, we have to get it in December 1st, okay?
When is she going to attend?
January.
Well, I'm putting it in for January, yeah.
Gretchen's coming in January to
Yes,
attend this meeting?
yes, yes. I think her last name is Fallon.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's right, Fallon.
Yes.
I remember now.
So for us to do what we have to do, we have to be 2 weeks in front of it. Because you know, if I'm not doing an article and somebody does have an article, I need to have it, because then what I do is I type it on here, okay? It's just like a can part, and we just, you know, do the bottom part. And I did shorten it. I said, if I shorten it, maybe we can have more room. So I just took out the mission and I put the vision in, you know. But so 2 weeks ahead, 2 weeks before the December 1st issue.
So I should have it to you by Wednesday. I probably
Yeah.
will do that.
And so that would be nice, because then I'll look at it, I'll type it all up. And then I'll send it off to her as quickly as possible. She will try to see if she can get space for us. And if she can't, she'll send it right back, and I'll ask her to send it directly to you. And then you can decide what you would like to keep and not keep. I think that's
Okay.
the best. Yeah, okay, good.
Does she have a word count on it that she wants to stay within
I asked that question. She said, no, it just depends upon,
their space?
yeah, that's it.
Putting stuff in
Yeah.
that
Yes, they
one.
make
Okay.
judgments evidently.
Well, they're probably gonna be super busy right this time of year.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, cool.
Well, the other option would be to move it to the next one,
That's a
the
thought.
March, April one.
Yeah.
If there's not enough space in the.
So
January, February.
Yes,
That's
you
right.
give that.
Because we have a
Give an
heads up, you know,
interest
we can
of
make that
full
decision.
article.
You're so smart. That's good. Great idea.
So would you rather put the one that didn't go in the next one?
I wouldn't.
That would, you know, that'd probably be a better idea, because then it's closer to really
Summer. then you're-
summer, and
yeah.
then you're the one, you know,
More
that would probably be much.
In other words, her inspirational story would be better later, you think?
Yeah,
In
that,
the
I think
spring.
it would be
The March, April.
March,
one.
April one.
Because they're quarterly.
Yeah, and
They're Bi-monthly.
so that
It's a-
if
Bi-monthly.
there's any, you know, people that want employment, you know.
Right, so
okay.
is that what we're doing?
Okay, let's do that. And then
Okay.
what I'll do is, we already have it. And we'll put this in.
Right.
And the bottom part is just, you know, I'm driving membership. That's what we're doing. So it just gives a little information about. that.
All right, so the inspirational one, our new plan is for that to appear in the issue after the upcoming
Yes.
issue.
March and April, correct.
Okay.
But I need to have it to you before February. I'm just gonna do it now and get it done.
Yeah, get it done and I'll just keep it and.
Yep.
that'd be cool. All right, cool. So I think that's about it. Huh? Oh, by the way, Drew had mentioned, I think it was Drew, he said, inside this issue, we don't have anything listed. So I asked if we can have our name here, because we should, she goes, oh yeah, you're a commission. I goes, okay. So.
That sounds important. doesn't
Yeah.
it? The word
Yeah.
commission
So anyway,
sounds
so she's
important.
gonna put it in the front, which is great.
Sounds
You know?
scary.
And I also kind of pushed it
Sounds like.
and
that.
I asked her about the center information. So, I mean, I was kind of like, so she said, we'll have a meeting. It was okay.
Okay,
So that's done. Oh, this is it. We're all done. Now we're ready on workshop.
still there, Evelyn?
I would like to inform you all, I put my house on the market last week.
Yeah.
And I'm getting an offer.
Right? Must
And
be
I'm-
worth a few $1 million in this market. Sorry, what's that?
And I am receiving an offer tonight.
Wow.
Wonderful.
It's a beautiful home.
Great, good luck.
She showed it.
Yeah.
That was
It's
fast.
a
huh?
great location.
I guess,
Yeah,
I
it
guess
is.
nothing's changed with the housing market.
No.
No, evidently not. Yeah.
Maybe my house was just right.
Yeah, bittersweet, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm sure
We
she.
we put a lot of effort into it and reconstruction and new appliances and everything, so.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Well, good luck with that.
Mm,
So this portion is going to be hearing from you guys of what you would like for a 2024 initiative goal. And if you want to share the passionate that you know, feeling of why you decided that this is what you want. And then what we'll do is everybody will have about 10 minutes. We don't want the logistics. We just want and the reason why. And then once everybody has discussed it, then we'll go back and we'll do the discussions, because that usually takes quite a long time. So that's one thing. And the second thing is that
So this is not should we adjourn the meeting?
No, this is part of the meeting.
This is an official part of the same meeting.
Yes,
It's not just a
No.
discussion. Okay.
on the agenda.
and then once we finish all that, then we will, next thing is it will. And if we want to extend the workshop into January. And everybody agrees that this looks like it's viable, we want to do this, then we do it. So, and after we have completed part one. Then we're going to do part two, which I just have a few things I'd like to mention. So we'll do the initiatives. Then we'll go right into, you know, what I would like to present, and then we'll go back to the discussions. Okay, is that all right with everybody? Because we have to discuss, this is the most important thing. Is,
So
The,
what you're saying is
procedures.
goals and then procedures
Procedures,
and then
right.
back to discussion. about the
Correct.
goals.
yeah,
what is that that's referred to?
it's,
Yeah.
this is the procedure that, yeah, this is, yeah. So who would like to start? Anybody have any ideas of what they would like to see? for
I
their
have
initiative?
something.
Okay,
Excuse me, the St. Patrick's Day Parade. I'm sure you're very familiar with it. And we're thinking for 2024, it will be on Saturday, March 9th. Gail tells me, no what? You think it's gonna rain?
The parade is canceled.
It's what?
Yeah, the parade is not gonna happen this year.
Why is that?
Should I?
oh, okay.
You look at that, Sarah.
Some
Okay,
very,
right now, we're not having the parade, so we'll just do it for the future. Okay,
I'll just,
So as far as
so,
as far as we know, they lack funding to organize the parade this year.
Mhm.
So as of right now, they have no funding to
Oh,
have the
okay. No
parade.
well, can I just, in a very general way, is there still people that are trying to make it happen possibly, or is it pretty much not? You don't know anything about that, maybe.
Oh, I do. I just.
I don't
know
want you, I
there's-
don't want to pin you down.
Yeah,
just so
there's
it's very
not,
general.
there's not communication happening right now
Okay.
that it will move forward, but
Okay,
that could change over
Right.
the.
that's all I wanted to know.
Okay, just lack of funding.
Okay,
So the
Yeah,
parade,
look, I-
Until further notice.
right, did you have any other,
Did I?
that you wanted to bring up at this time?
everybody's
No,
only
that
entitled
was
to
it.
one initiative.
So
We-
I can say, were you looking for exposure at the for the commission?
Well, March is Developmental Disability Awareness Month.
Okay, maybe
And
we should stay on this.
Gail tells me that they have a gold Mercedes Benz. And that was going to be our focal point with YCOD exposed. So
And then,
just another way to let everyone know we're
and
here.
wait a minute, and what else do you have in there? Look, what else? The
Pardon me?
pictures. Who's going to be sitting in the car waving?
Oh, yeah. Again, that was a friend of Gail's. This is the guy.
I
No
love it.
parade, no car, guy dressed up,
I
in a
love it.
green out.
That's too bad. It was gonna be
Yeah, but
fun.
maybe there's another opportunity for it.
Okay, is there another opportunity to have a event in March
Right,
that
Well,
we can
maybe,
think
maybe
of?
July they'll put the parade on instead of, who the heck knows? I don't know.
right.
But-
And maybe they'll get funding in the next few months. You never
Exactly.
know.
Exactly.
Well,
Well, March is Developmental Disabilities Awareness.
but I think every month is some kind of a.
I was just gonna
disability.
say, what was October though?
October
Because
was
we,
employment. We talked
oh,
about
because we
that.
talked about that and that was what I was thinking about was
Yeah.
the Seaside Festival.
Right. We did think of the seaside.
So I can tell you, they're talking about bringing their parade back.
Ah,
I mean, and that's when theirs went out, once the St.
Mhm.
Patrick's Day
And what-
was
what-
doing
what
better
is it?
than
What is the date? October. Okay.
it's over
Yeah.
Columbus Day weekend. already.
Correct.
We could just have a parade, just.
Have our own parade.
I was thinking more than just the parade, that we set up a booth and bring together transitions,
Wait,
sorry,
yeah.
yeah,
Oh,
wait,
wait,
go ahead.
Okay. Let's
Move
just,
on.
let's, yeah, but we'll get back to that. Let's do what's your initiative? I mean, I didn't mind to put you on the spot. You've been gone for 9 days, so.
Right, no, and I wasn't 100% sure what you were saying for initiative, just something we want to do in 2024.
Yeah, which.
An idea.
So that was my idea.
Okay. so
because
yours is
We
this,
had
okay.
talked about it, but we didn't do it last time. It was too quick. And then I've talked to the woman at Hack and she said there are members at Hack who would want to be involved. They're willing to send someone to this meeting as well.
Wait a minute, what is hack?
Habilitation Assistance Corp. So it's one of the programs.
a day
Capabilities is a program, Community Connections is a
alright.
program, Transitions it is a program. So what I'd like to see is for us to have a booth where all the programs have an opportunity, people can come by and say, these are the programs in the area.
Okay.
And also Kennedy Donovan Center, Cord, anyone who's out there advocating for people with a disability, even if it has, I don't know if is there a specific one that does the elderly?
Listen to this, in the spring, on May 17th, we're repeating an event at the senior center that we had last year in May, the health fair.
Unable to go then, yeah.
And maybe under the aegis of the Disability Commission, we could create this kind of a situation at that,
Alphabet.
possibly, yeah. We have quite a few people signed up already, but maybe there'll be space for something like that. I wonder how much, does that make any sense
I
to you?
like that idea.
And I think it depends on how much involvement we get versus people just send their pamphlets.
Yeah,
We have a
that's
pamphlet
not
for
worth
each
much, yeah,
one to hand
Yeah,
out, then you
right.
only
That's
need
okay.
a limited amount of room.
yeah.
I like the idea what Drew said, because it doesn't cost us anything.
Right.
When I approached that,
The Seaside Festival.
yeah, I thought maybe they would like, give it to us.
And how much are they charging for booths
Well,
now?
we could get it for $75, but it's like, it's a table. I don't, it's not like really something that is
Right.
really cool, right? So, if you're gonna be going into something like, go ahead, Sarah.
I was just gonna say, I think you're gonna have a different audience. I'm afraid that Seaside and the Night Out are gonna be a similar audience.
They had
And
a thing
the
called the
event Drew
Police Night Out.
referring to is gonna be
Might be more.
the audience
Yeah.
that you wanna
Yeah.
Yeah.
target. I don't,
Yeah.
that's
It's
just.
gonna be the Spring Health and Wellness Fair, we're probably gonna call it.
Yeah.
So what everybody's talking about, what Jean, Donna,
Mhm,
and Drew are all talking about is education and exposure.
Correct.
Yes.
Right? So that's kind of like your theme, right? That's
Yeah,
like the goal, right? Is to educate and not let people know what the commission does. And then
a little
the-
bit,
Hold
yeah.
on,
yeah.
but then there's the collaboration, right? Because the resources are all the
go.
partners in your
That's
community.
it, yeah.
So there's your goal. Then your action is, okay, to get that exposure and to educate people, we want to be at the health fair. We want to, if it be, have a car in the parade, right? Just, so you got your goal,
Same
now you
goal,
come up
but
with the
different
action.
action.
I see.
Right, so
Right.
then it's like, okay, so in the next year, if that's your goal, then at least let's pick 3 solid things within the year. Or between now and June that we say we can commit to and focus on that and do a really good job at it instead of 10 different things.
I
I
agree.
like that. That's why we're doing
Because
this
it
meeting.
sounds like everybody's in agreement that that's what we want and need to do.
You mean, but say that again, education
An exposure
and exposure,
of the disability commission.
that would be the overall,
Right, like, I mean, a simple
Topic
thing,
or-
I mean, I would even pay for it, I'll buy a banner that says,
You don't have.
What
to
are you gonna
for it.
pay
no, I
for?
would just say, I can, like a banner, so we know that we can bring it to all of our events, it can go
oh,
in
yeah,
front of the
banner that
table.
would work for a table. at a-
Right.
At a
You know,
health
May I make
fair.
a proposal? Since you did an excellent job explaining it, and you know,
Uh-oh.
the procedure, I'm
I know
asking,
Gail.
I'm asking if I can work with you and you can teach me so that I can be organized and I'll take care of it. You just, give me just some direction.
Mhm.
So it won't be heavy on your plate and I can take care of it. And then I can bring in anybody else that wants to work with me. Donna, Jean, Drew. And then what we'll do is whomever will put this all together and then we will turn it back over to you and you can correct it. Make suggestions and things of that nature. Is that okay?
Just,
Yeah.
I just just be careful because these meetings this is a public. it's a
We can't meet
public
separately.
commission.
We have to meet.
But I
do.
could send an email to her saying, okay, here's the outline, right? This is,
Right.
here's the first.
And then
here's
just
our
bring
goal,
it to the
here's
meeting,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Right, but then if we need to have like a subcommittee, then we go forward and that's still okay.
Have a sub.
Well, I just think it's a simple
But we
thing.
can
is
do it at the meeting
What are,
too.
what are
Correct.
3 events that we'd want
Okay.
to
great.
have a presence at? Pick
Okay.
those 3 things between now and next June. What would they
High
be?
school design teacher will make the banners and they're about 50% cheaper than if you go to Staples or order them or do anything else. So that's a way to get
Yeah.
high school involved as
Yeah.
well.
Perfect.
You mean the
See,
trade,
No, at DY actually,
Oh,
at
really?
the high school here, yeah. The tech does stuff too. We've
Yeah, the
had
tech
stuff done at the
Okay,
tech.
we'll get a price
but,
for each
um,
one and see which one's better.
They did the banners for us for the football team. They do the fat heads for the seniors that cost $50 online.
Do they
She
do
charges
tablecloths?
$15. Tablecloths? I don't think so. She can do the vinyl printing. But I don't,
What kind of?
I've never heard anything about
I
tablecloths.
get, like at the chamber, we have a tablecloth with our logo and name on it. So then you just put it on the table, looks really nice.
Oh,
When you
professional.
go to like, it's like a booth table.
On a cloth,
Yeah.
Oh, I saw that.
I'll ask.
Yeah, because that would be nice.
Names
and
to
We
me.
just put our title on it and the
And
town's
that's
colors
perfect,
with the
yeah.
town logo. And then wherever you go, you
You
just
just
have
take that
that
out,
simple
right? That's
tablecloth.
Yeah, that's really.
And it's, you know, if it's $50, it's $50 well spent. And it's,
Right.
you know, because,
The banners
seems like a
get
very
worn and
modest
you have to
amount.
fold them and you have to do stuff.
and
with
it's
them.
just,
Yep.
you know, wherever you go, you want to present yourself professionally and don't take this wrong, but like tacky, like you're trying to put things together like, oh, you know, the wind's blowing the banner and it's curling and
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's always, and then, well, it happens, you know? And then you're prepared to go indoors, outdoors, you know,
Well, then that also leads us to maybe, again, this is part of a goal. Come up with a trifold brochure for ourselves so that people can take it. Because even though we're on, you know, online and things of that nature, there's still a lot of people that like to have things in their hand, you know, especially more aged person.
So
that's our.
What do you think it's, Sarah?
I'm thinking something. So is our goal to educate?
And
that we
Evelyn's-
exist?
Yeah.
Or is our goal to educate people about how they can support people with disabilities?
It's both.
Okay,
It's both.
Yeah, she
I'm
had
just
said
thinking about-
education, exposure and collaboration.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Go ahead and finish your thought a little bit more, maybe.
no, I
Sarah?
guess I'm just putting that out there, because it seems like we
Like maybe.
I
we
see our
exist part
Well,
might
I
be-
just, I guess I
Yeah.
see our charge as. I think. You might consider. Like the letter we're doing is like, you know, that hopefully is gonna result in some change, right? And like some tangible sort of results as I see it. Whereas going to these
events.
events is great. We might get one person that says, oh, I went to Quest and I had an issue with getting in the
Thank you.
door, what have you. That's a tangible result. But I guess I'm thinking, I'm wondering if we want to keep some focus on not just recruiting people to know about the Commission on Disability, but making sure that I don't know, gee, that's weird. Some
going.
tangible results in terms of,
I sympathize.
Well,
with
I
what
do
you're
do you know
saying.
what I mean? Like, just like coming away with some change, you know?
A track record of accomplishment.
Yeah, some accomplishments versus
I-
recruiting people to be, which is important.
Recruiting people, it's like, I truthfully didn't even know there was a Commission on Disability, and I'm the director of the Chamber of Commerce. There you go. So I think, you know, and even that day that we were at the police night out,
Mhm.
we did get people that came to the table and said, oh, we didn't even know who.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I think it's important to still do that.
And get the message, so when somebody is a caregiver for somebody with a disability, somebody in the town that's advocating for them.
Right.
I just
I guess
wanted-
my question, sorry.
Education and exposure should be ongoing. We should be taking advantage of anything where we could try to let people know that we do exist and we're there to help. And as far as the police night out, I went and there was an opening over here, but you guys are way down there and I just couldn't walk that far. So
We were at the beginning.
well, it depends on where
Yeah.
you're.
Well,
But I understand what Sarah's saying, like we want to be able to say, we accomplished this,
right, both
this
things are
year.
true. I think it's good you
Yeah.
said that
Yeah.
because
makes you think about what
we
are
could
the
get lost
actions.
in, but, the thing about your idea that caught my eye was like bringing in other people
Yeah,
with us.
Yeah, that
the
collaboration.
collaborators, yeah. Who did you mention? HAC, the habilitation, what does that stand for?
Capabilities.
Capabilities.
Community
Lead
connections,
Community Connection,
Transitions.
Kennedy Donovan
And-
Center, Cord. There's a whole bunch of things out there. There's one thing with the day services is one, but then the group homes and then Cord and Kennedy Donovan, which just sort of support all of those.
Right. That's a thing where we make ourselves known and give out information and talk to people at a public event.
Right, and I understand, so
It's not
maybe
the
what
same,
we're getting
right.
back to is. One goal is the education and even the collaboration that people know all these people exist in the community, not just us. And then the other would be. More that initiative of, okay, we're working on. Parking spaces, we're working on getting. The owners to make their buildings accessible.
Well, they're not even that. We talked about the town website. Right, is that, I forgot what.
Accessible.
Thank you.
For the blind, for the hearing.
Right.
Yeah.
So I am working, not to get like too out down a rabbit hole, but I am, I have been in contact with Massachusetts Commission on the Deaf and Hard of Hearing about our website. Haven't heard back from him, so we communicated back and forth a little bit, and then I want to just circle back with him again.
Right, but that would be a goal.
Yeah.
For this commission.
The goal would be what in base?
Ensuring that the website is
Accessibility.
accessible, the town.
Well, having them
website.
advise the town to make
Right.
it more accessible.
Yeah, ways that we can make.
I get it. I remember.
I like the idea, so I guess where I was thinking about the table was. I think when we did some of the events in the past, it was Yarmouth Commission on Disability that was there, but we didn't really have. We weren't, I think we're sort of like the liaison in a way to these
Right.
other organizations, so I love the idea of like outreaching to all those different places.
It'd be a good thing to do.
The only thing I would say is that we would also, whoever's working the table would need to be qualified to speak,
some
to point
questions.
to, oh, this would be the right place to go to. So, maybe it's, maybe over the course of, the next several months, it would be something to consider, might be to invite each of those people to
come
come in
here.
and give us an overview of their
That's the beginning
organization.
of
10
collaboration.
minutes.
Yeah.
And that way,
Yeah.
when we're at different events as the Commission on Disability, not that we're gonna be experts, but we can at least hand them the right brochure. Do you know what I mean? And say, oh, for more information, they would call that specific place, but
I think,
yeah.
So Donna, can you
Relationship.
generate the list of who those partners are that you listed off? I mean, we pretty much all know
I-
them. And then maybe work with
Yeah.
Gail on who can come in over the
Yeah.
next few months.
Yeah, because we had somebody from transition. And now that's our liaison, right? We can work with her.
Right,
She
right.
would be-
Yeah, and so maybe the first one, just because Tracy's there and I know them. Would be Habilitation Assistance Corp.
Okay,
And then we'll go from there. The woman I initially had discussed is out on maternity leave right now. But I don't know that she would have come, but she also was gonna talk to other people to see who would be best to come, because they would like to know what we're doing as well, because they take their members out in the community and run into accessibility issues as well.
And they're right in Yarmouth.
and I just want to
There,
make a
yeah.
point here. That's why it's important that we all have a voice, because I come from a different background. I know nothing about, disability when I first started, concerns or anything like that. And my view is totally different from somebody else's, so it's important that we all have these discussions so we can learn from one another. 'Cause
That
everything
reminds
is
me
important.
That according to the law that establishes these commissions, a certain number of people are supposed to have disabilities that are on the commission. And I don't know how to
They used to have it.
I don't know how to help make that happen more for this group.
Well, I reached out to an individual that I asked, I says, do you think that any of your clients would be interested in
Hmm.
joining the board?
Right.
And, that's the way I would approached it.
Do you still
Because-
have, is that still a live thing? That you reached out and
And I,
you're not sure if anything will come of
No.
that particular
no,
thing?
So maybe working with some of
but
these
so-
partners.
exactly, working
Yeah,
with other
right.
partners. I mean, this is a person that is part of you're talking about.
Yeah,
So, but I don't know those other people, so how can I reach out to them?
That's a good,
right?
that's a really good
So
point.
that's why
yeah.
it's important that we have you as our ambassador to all these other places and. you
Through
know,
the last health fair, the next table, there was an organization for the blind. Do you remember the name of it?
Sight loss
Jennifer.
services, I think. I think it's called sight loss services.
And I think
That's
they're on
off the
Route
top of my-
134 in Dennis.
Yeah. I think
Okay.
that's the name of it.
We should, yeah, make a note of them too, yeah.
Okay.
So at one time we had talked about, not just looking at the businesses and accessibility, but our own town properties. And I just noticed in this brochure that that's one of the things that Barnstable does is it says, it says to the advocating for people with disability, conduct ADA compliant surveys of public buildings and accessibility. I wonder what that means, how
I
they
have that
survey.
information.
Well, I mean, does that mean surveying public
Well,
buildings?
Well, we did do that.
And
It
how
was
did
the
you
town,
accomplish it?
it was all the school.
Yeah, but how did you survey it?
What were the mechanics of it? What were? the
Did you just
details?
look at
Well-
it yourself or did you take a survey of people in the
No,
town using that
we-
building?
Had the book.
It's related, this is
You
all
know?
related to that community access monitor
Gotcha.
training. to
But then
ensure that-
they had, a couple of years ago, they got a grant from Maud for like $250,000 and had a professional come in and do it all over
The
again.
Barnstable
And
Commission got
money
a
is
grant.
available.
The Barnstable Commission got a grant
Yeah,
from the
Yeah.
Mass Office
Office
of
of Disability.
For $250,000.
have the survey conducted
Yeah.
by
Yeah.
some
Yeah,
I would
outfit.
think it would be very
Professional.
much like what ad hoc, like when I'm in that meeting and what Kathy Williams is doing. She's doing a survey, right? The survey is being, disseminated throughout the community and it online and then people read. No,
No,
that's-
it's, I think what it's referring to is the community access monitor training.
Well, there's
You know, that
two.
you went through. And we applied for a grant for that
I know,
last
we
year,
didn't-
but we didn't get it.
Mm.
We applied for a grant to have an ADA transition plan conducted.
But they also do surveys in conjunction with that.
So
'Cause I-
that was an outside hired consultant. that did
Yes.
it. It wasn't the commission themselves. They applied for
Correct.
the funding.
originally it
You have to pay,
was.
yeah.
Originally they did do it,
But,
yeah.
but they do the survey. They actually, because I looked online, there are a few commissions around in New England that are doing this. And it's a twofold. They hire the company that's going to be doing all the monitoring. And then they come up with a survey and then they disseminate the
Disseminate.
information to all different citizens and then they get information back and that's how they know what's going on. But you have to have money. So that's why we need the grant.
Right.
So when the grant comes up again, we'll have to find a grant writer to,
So could you tell me, Sarah, last year, how did we apply for the grant? Who wrote it and stuff?
Peter Malpass wrote it, a
Mhm.
volunteer, and.
I know him, yeah.
And we wrote it with the goal of hiring a consultant to do an ADA transition plan,
And that,
an updated one. We have one, but it's years old.
and is that
Um,
distinct from a survey? Is this a different thing or is it really the same thing?
I mean, I suppose they would do the survey in order to create the plan.
That's what
Yeah,
I thought.
really.
So that would be part of the
Yeah.
grant.
Yeah.
Right. That's what I'm thinking, yeah.
maybe we should-
And do you know why you didn't get it or it's just,
they don't tell you.
it doesn't work that way?
They ran out of money, whoever
Yeah.
got it first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do we have
You
a
think that-
copy of that plan or is it on the website? Sorry to interrupt. you.
No,
But we
no,
need
go
a
ahead.
copy.
So it's this is part of the problem. Current transit ADA plans are like incorporated into each division's procedures or policies or whatever, like the recreation one was part of the recreation department's open
Okay.
space and recreation plan.
Yes,
You know what I mean? And the library is incorporated into there. So this was part of the goal of this grant was to have a centralized
Okay.
ADA
So I
transition.
think you're
plan for the
describing
town overall.
something that I might support as a goal for the commission, right, for 2024, to try to centralize the transition to ADA compliance by public buildings in the town of Yarmouth. That could be one of our goals, right?
I have information. I didn't bring it because there's just so much, but from the ADA, and I was gonna bring it. I said, I don't think we need it for this meeting, unfortunately. Got it, but it actually gives us all the information for like the bathrooms, for the beaches and things of that nature. And what they're working on and what their goal is for years to come, going forward, right? So I'll make sure I'll make a point of bringing whatever I have to the meeting in January. And that you all can see that.
Is that for the open space and
Yes,
recreation? Okay.
yes. So my question is it because we were able to get this information because of what the planning department is doing? Or if we, how do we, like, if we went to the library section of, you know, can we just go in there and find it?
I believe so.
Oh, okay. so
But that was like the challenge when I was even trying to write the grant is like, there's not one right now. It's like, it's embedded.
That's what
in-
he's saying, compiling it all.
Yeah.
that-
It could be
is
one
that-
of our
that'll be-
goals,
so
right?
That, I think it'd be a great goal, yeah.
We ourselves could just gather all these separate
Oh,
things
yeah.
and put them in one place without any funding.
Okay,
That's has a little bit of value to it, right?
yeah,
It has, it's a starting point.
It's a starting point.
okay, that'd be good. So,
But I mean, I think we need to take it a step further. and
Yes.
Grant again.
Okay.
oh, yeah.
I
mean,
want to
think
ask you a
the guard
question.
actors Here, I mean, I guess they officially maybe borderline meet the,
No, they don't. And neither does the one in our building. It's horrible for visitors.
yeah,
Okay, so this is a big, pretty important goal, right?
This is a
Yeah.
huge goal.
yeah.
Just from, you know.
And that's like, I guess like that's part of, I think Mary and I had a conversation, like. We're sending letters out to, businesses, asking them to do certain
Bingo.
things.
Yeah.
And we need to make sure we're holding ourselves.
So as you talk about this is rising in my mind as.
And
an
I think
important
some
goal.
are, like I talked to, I don't frequent the golf courses all that often, but I understand from Scott Gilmore that they are accessible. At the the bathrooms and things. like
You
that.
golf? Do any of us golf here?
I used
I
to.
don't, yeah. I'll have to talk to some.
And I don't, so
Yeah.
I don't know, yeah, I think it would be interesting,
like to learn about
I
the
mean,
golf
you
situation.
guys have done some monitoring of businesses, it would be interesting to have you go to each of the town buildings, like the library and the senior center and the golf courses.
So
and
what are
see you
these-
think?
What are the documents per department?
Yeah,
Like, what are
how
we
do we
looking
find them?
for?
You said procedures and plans or something?
I don't know, I'll have to get back to you, I have no idea.
Because it's like to find those, we need to know where to go and what they call
Right.
that part.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna make a stab at it by going onto the town website and seeing if I can find anything. I don't know. but
Yeah, I'm not sure either. I can't
Yeah.
really, I just know
Doubtful.
last year, whenever that was, when we were trying to apply for the grant, it was like. That was part of the reason to apply for the grant, is the information wasn't in one.
So that's
Place.
a goal for sure, is to compile that into one place.
Right.
That's if there's another grant coming up. We don't know, I mean, to get the CAM, right? But we could still do our own thing.
I want to ask you another question. How did you feel about the grant proposal in its final form when you sent it out? Did you feel it was well,
I mean, I
it-
thought the grant was, the request was.
the
was
request?
Fine, I
Good.
mean. It doesn't ask you a lot, it wasn't super complicated, but
But you felt it was coherent and it was
Yeah.
specific enough?
yeah.
You just didn't happen to get a word?
Yeah, I think probably what happened is they probably gave us a grant years ago to do it the first time, maybe, I don't know. And they were like, why do you need more money to do this again,
Maybe there's.
I don't know, I'm just
Like
guessing.
competition.
Or it's all political.
Yeah, it could be, yeah. it could
Do you have a copy of that grant?
be. It was online.
Oh, so you
So,
didn't make
I
a
don't
copy, nobody,
know
no
if I-
printout?
I'm sure you can go to their website.
Diane, Senior Center has a copy of the grant that she was willing to show to me when I was on the committee And we were at that point going to go forward to see if we could get a grant to do the whole town. And that failed away. But anyway, Diane at the senior center would be very helpful to you if you asked her to.
So I have a question, and not to put you on the spot, but I'm gonna put you on the spot. You've gone out, I believe you and Gail maybe went out to some local businesses and did some measuring and kind of assessing their accessibility. After, like in collaboration with the community access monitor training that you did, like kind of in conjunction with that. Would it be feasible for you to do that for the town buildings and give us like a little report of what the issues are? Because I think then we'd have something concrete to ask for
Okay,
in a grant proposal.
Right.
It's
You know
not
what I mean?
may I just say this? It's not that clear cut. When you're going into the bathroom, you have to be bending down, you have to be measuring everything. You have to know precisely, we have it on document, we just don't have the manpower to do it. So
So I guess the question is, can you easily look at your document and say, the bathroom on the second floor of town hall is not compliant because of X, Y, or Z?
Yep.
well, you could
Yeah,
I
just
mean, you
put
don't
the
have to know
handrail.
every
Jean-
inch, but you
Jean
can
knows.
say it.
And we
right?
have,
ask Jean.
we have
She
everything
knows.
here. It's the community access
Right.
monitor program that we got from Maud. And I did do this, back in Barnstable years ago.
Okay, and
We
how did you
can't.
do it? You got in a car
Two
with
people went
another
out,
person,
yeah, we knew where we were going. One had the measuring tape, the other had the pad of paper.
and
We measured the opening, we went into the bathroom, the stall, the
Measured.
height of the sink, the towels. And then we wrote up a report
yes,
and we would send it to the person in charge.
of
But we did
what?
all the
The
town
building.
buildings
The person in charge of what?
of whatever the building.
The facility.
And were these public buildings?
Yeah, it was
Okay.
a school, a town hall, the libraries.
And how did you compose the letter? You had a model for the letter that was given to you by the,
There are model letters, yes.
I'm,
But
right
that-
now,
that-
I'm talking about town, specifically town
right?
owned buildings.
She is too, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, we could do that.
and.
Now, you have passed this community monitor course, right?
Twice.
Right. So that gives you the, I don't know if you call it
Expertise.
power, but
Well,
The
yeah, I
knowledge.
do
Official.
have my certificates.
so you're
Uh.
empowered sort of. to do this.
Yeah.
So, like, I could come with you and help you
Mhm.
and bend down and make measurements,
Right.
but you would be the official
And
person, right?
what we did do in Barnstable, we did a business cards
Mhm.
that said, Barnstable Commission on Disability. our
So
name
they
and the
would
phone
give you
number.
access.
Yeah, and that, made them a little more
Did
comfortable.
it say community?
As
access?
far as,
Monitor.
yeah. And as far as the businesses were concerned, the Chamber of Commerce had all their people know that we would be coming and they were all receptive and
Now-
fine.
Now, just taking a step back, I'm not necessarily talking about what you did in Barnstable as far as
Mhm.
going out to businesses. I'm talking about as a starting point, doing it within the town.
I understand
We
that.
did that
Yeah,
first.
she's
We
talking
go-
about
we
that
did
too.
that
the
first.
We're all on the same
I
page.
can get you, I mean, I can just
Library.
email and say,
Missions
Drew and
coming out.
Jean are coming
Sure.
from the
Right.
Commission on Disability. When would be a good day for them to have access to? do
But,
that?
but
Can-
all that precise information about, inches and
Right,
half
you
inches
create
is
a-
all there,
You
yeah.
create a spreadsheet,
Yeah.
we're at the visitor center, in the
Yeah.
restrooms, this is our findings,
Mhm.
So
hallways.
this is something we can do all by ourselves.
Yes.
Before we apply
I think
for,
I like this.
Yeah.
And I'd like to interject. We have a little problem with the elevator. If you think about it, I have a cane, right? So when I was going out, I almost got hit because the light beam is not where it should be, it's way down low. And for some reason, it didn't,
Register.
register, right? And that was very concerning. I had mentioned to somebody, oh yeah, it's right here. And I was, okay, but that really wasn't, it was 2/3 down. It's supposed to be up higher. The new
Hey,
ones
Gene,
are up higher.
time to
Not
say
that
something.
high, but they're high enough.
And there are
Which
things,
is you wave your hand usually. You can't wave your hand if it's down here,
Yeah.
right? That's what I meant. Yeah.
things that we don't think about. They'll have a big barrel in the restroom and a person in a wheelchair with a cane or whatever can't get by it and can't move it. There should also be braille on the elevators, and it should all be high enough or low enough rather for someone in a wheelchair to reach there too. There are lots of little things like
I mean, I
that.
know that, the outside looks good. I think they do a great job with the parking, everything like
Mhm.
that.
Mhm.
But yeah, I can
Yeah.
see your point. I know, yeah.
Well,
that-
anyway,
I
is
think
that
that's good.
something you would like to see done?
I think that's a,
Yeah, I
That's
think
a gr-
that's
I
the
think
way
that's
we
a
have
This
to
is our
start.
decision.
because.
I think we have to start there.
I
It
think-
started
I
with a
think that's what we
suggestion
should
from
start.
Sarah,
Right.
and I
we
think
should-
the more
yeah.
we talk about it, the more, I
Yeah.
guess we all agree.
Yeah, I think we should start.
And I'm
there.
fine.
Yeah.
It's, it's. At least we'd have something tangible.
Yeah.
Have a little more moral standing.
And say, look, you
We're
know
done,
what, these
right,
are the
right.
issues and how
Yeah.
do we solve them,
That's
And
excellent.
when we're asking businesses to do things, we'll have a
Right.
little moral
Do we have-
standing. Like, we're doing our best here.
Yeah.
Okay, Yes.
Don't
Yeah,
you
well,
have to put it into Maud to be able to get the permission to do that? Seems to me that the other time that was part of the grant and then that was part of the program of having to do this. I don't know if you can just go in on your own like that.
Oh, we can do that, but we
Or the-
have,
To get the actual grant, you have to
Mm.
probably.
We don't need a grant.
Just do.
we don't need a grant to do what we're doing.
They have
on
this
the
thing
lake,
called the
because-
Community Access Monitor Program.
Mhm.
And you take a course. Did you hear about this already,
She's been
Evelyn?
she took
I
the
think
course.
she took it.
She took the course.
Community Access Monitor?
I did it.
Yeah,
I was-
so,
I- Hear them.
so that's the basis we would do it on. I think
Yeah.
it makes sense.
The three of us did that a couple of years ago, and I have a book too, which I was
Mm-hmm.
gonna put a 3-ring binder, and I was giving it. I didn't know, we don't have a library, that's another thing, like a little section area. So, if it could be in your office, something like that, and if there's anything that, like that book or something like that. So it shouldn't be in my house, it should be here. Where do we put it? So that anybody from the commission can go to it and research. So what would
It's
happen?
online, I don't.
Not that. That's not online.
I
You
don't
have
think
to, you have to
it's-
earn that.
Right, so then it shouldn't be like in a,
And to any of us.
yeah,
No, they said to share it. They said. they
I
said-
mean, it's fine, you can
So
share
what
it, but I don't have like a library in my
Yeah, so
office
what we-
either.
So what we could do is just scan it and send it to everyone electronically. I'd
Or
be
we
happy
could-
to do that if somebody wants to.
I think Maud would send it.
I have
to
it,
you,
I have
because-
it, because I took the training, I have it on a
Yeah,
thumb
because you took
drive.
the training, that's why.
I
you
have it on a thumb
right.
drive.
Well, maybe they don't want us
It's
to give
too
it to other
big to
people.
send.
At the end
Don't
of the
even send it
training,
to
they
me.
said, you can access it. And I wasn't gonna print out 200 pages or whatever it
No, I
is.
think-
So I asked them to send me a booklet and they did.
So does it mean that if you don't have the training, that you could still get that information?
That's what you said.
No, but that was after the training. Oh, but yeah, I would think.
Okay,
I don't
all right,
think
well, we
so.
should probably check.
To ask.
I
Because I
have
think
it
it's
on
gonna
a
print it
thumb
out.
drive. I have it on a thumb drive because he mailed me a thumb drive version of it when I took the
Okay.
training.
Okay. Yeah, well, that's good. All right, so I guess that's our goal then.
Well, what do we want, when and how?
So
and
that's the first goal
I'd
we should
be-
do?
Happy to do it.
So I think it sounds like we set that as a goal. Now it's like,
Right.
what's the action steps? Like the first thing I would do is create a list of all the town properties you want to do that at,
Mhm.
right? What's open now, what's not open now, right? Because that's a factor you have to think about, then prioritize. Like the town owns a lot of property in town, so you have to think about what your priorities are and what's accessible right now for the time of year. So Is there an easy way to find the list of all the properties that they
I
would,
think I have it.
Mhm.
you know, even
be
like,
good.
even like going to Flax Pond, right? Like something like that. You have to meet someone there this time of year to go into. the
Any time of
building.
year, because you're not gonna go there in the.
Right.
summer.
Well, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know, So you'd have to coordinate what buildings you want to go to first.
Mhm.
So that's your
Okay,
action
so-
step.
I am amenable to being one of the people who actually gets in a car and goes with, say, Gene to do it. So before we get in the car, we have to,
A
Right.
ticket.
Have a measuring tape, a pack.
we have to decide where we're gonna go. This is what
No, you have to.
Mary's talking about.
So you have priorities.
Right.
You have
So
what's
what would-
accessible.
So,
So the first thing is generate a list of town properties,
right,
right?
Right.
Then prioritize what's accessible right now, this time of
Okay,
year. 'cause
so-
A lot of it's closed.
so let's say, could we say just right now off the top of our head, we could make town hall the number one?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, simplify
This building
one thing.
could be like the
Then get the
obvious number
whole
one.
list
right?
and
Yeah.
prioritize.
I would say
But it
that,
would be a good
yeah,
test
one a month.
run.
that's what
Right.
I would,
Yeah,
You'd say what?
do one a month.
Mhm.
Or maybe just part of town hall or something. I don't know. What do you think about that? You're here all day, every day. We would come into town hall and,
I think that's a
Do
great.
the
place to start.
bathrooms.
I think it'll be a good training too, that you'll.
Yep.
know, you'll have Sarah to ask questions and then you'll figure out, oh, when we go to the libraries, we need to do this or.
Well, it's interesting things like when you go to get a dump sticker, is the counter accessible to someone in a wheelchair?
Right.
When you pay your tax bill, is it too high? Is it too, right? Like those,
Wheelchair. Evelyn.
It's too high. You'd have to have somebody with you to talk at the, unless you could stand up and lean on it. I don't know about that. Like,
which,
hamster-
Cut it down.
which counter is that? That's too high?
Counters.
All the counters.
All the
The
counters?
town clerk's office one, I think, is all right.
That's interesting.
Yeah. It has to be 30 something inches. I don't know.
Okay,
Yes.
I'm listening. And
I say we start with one.
Yeah.
And then we regroup and we figure out like, okay, now we have this information. What are we gonna do with I mean, and
start with
take it a
one
step. at
building,
a
you mean?
time. Yeah.
So I think if we're in a workshop setting still, I still think, I think these are all great ideas, but I still think so you've got your goals, right, or goal, we should firm those up. Then we need to, underneath them, put, okay, 2 or 3 action steps, that's it. And who's responsible for them? What's the time frame to complete it? And
Okay.
I'll be happy to complete this. It's just in a Word document in a table and you fill it in as you go along to complete it. Gail, I'm happy to work with you.
Yeah, because I really don't know.
No,
This
and
is not my.
So then it's
Expertise.
something that, and even if you wanted to share it with the select board or something at the end of the year, you can show, it's almost like a strategic plan. Here's our goals, here's our action step, this is what we completed, who completed it.
So
What their findings
I
are.
need to leave kind of soon,
Yeah.
but I'd like to ask this. I think maybe we have at least 2 goals we've come up with here. Right, or 3. Let's hear, what's the first, how would you express the first goal yourself, Mary? That
It's
you-
kind of, it got a little complicated.
Yeah.
When we talked about educating we talked about educating the
Education.
public. But then we also
During collaboration.
talked about educating ourselves about the other partners that are out there. So education's kind of like twofold.
Yeah,
Then we talked about making sure our website was accessible. Right, that's something that Sarah's working on. And then I don't know what I would call this. If it's a survey of the
Survey.
public property, town properties,
Accessibility survey.
Survey of.
accessibility survey of town
Properties.
town buildings. Well, we're not just saying buildings. are we?
properties.
Properties. Because when we
Sorry.
get to the beaches, they have restrooms that we have to survey and so on.
So what are we calling it? Sorry.
Accessibility survey of
Survey.
town properties. Is that okay?
Sounds good.
Okay. Thank you, Evelyn. That's good feedback because,
Would it be difficult to get a list of the town property?
I don't think so, although I definitely have a list of the town buildings. That's, very
Oh,
easy, but
yeah.
as far
Gonna
as
start with the,
property.
yeah,
Start with the building.
let's start with buildings.
Yeah.
I understand that properties encompasses more than buildings, but. And my idea is the town hall, this very building here is a logical starting place, right?
Mhm.
So,
Yeah.
we don't need to. I don't know when we can, but under this CAM, so-called CAM program, you as a CAM person
Right?
with a certificate can come in and do all this checking out.
Tape measure.
And I'm the muscle, for example.
Yeah.
Like you might not want to get down on your hands and knees, but I would.
No, I
See?
could.
Yeah,
So
I,
we-
thi-
I won't get up.
I could. It's gonna take me a while to get up. Cause I'm a little on the older side too. But I could.
I know,
I
I'm
would do
thinking
that.
about who else we could,
Recruit,
Building.
huh?
Talking other buildings.
No, I'm talking
Person.
about
People?
Oh.
people to do
I have an
the
idea.
physical work,
What
right?
what about the Eagle Scouts? Don't they always look for
Young people.
projects? Get them involved or.
There's
get, you know,
collaboration right there.
Or get people involved, the kids involved that are gonna be carpenters that love to measure, you know, things
I like that
A lot of
idea.
No, but
So it's like, yeah.
You
Yeah,
really
that's, then you
need-
get.
you need
into
to know
another
what you're
level.
doing
Oh.
too,
Right.
you know.
So,
We need one person.
young people can
There
do
needs
one
things.
to be
guy.
an
Yes.
assistant.
Well, you know, there are
That's a
little
guy.
things like the rubbish barrel in front of the door.
Well, you just tell them what to do. Well,
Oh,
they're
yeah.
gonna be there.
We're
But
not
they
sending them
can't.
on their own. They're just gonna
No.
be.
They're just helpers.
Yeah, okay.
Gee
Then
whiz.
I know, but it's a
Okay.
lot of coordinating and that could be very time consuming.
All right, we'll just take it easy. We'll take it one step at a time.
Me and
I know
Gene
we're
would
not
be,
gonna
could
get
be
through
one
everything
team.
because it's
sample,
getting
right?
late.
Let's start there and then we'll see where.
Then
it
it's-
goes.
Yeah, we'll see what,
Yeah,
I
Where-
just want,
So the next action that we could take is we could meet and decide, well, when could we come here to
Okay.
do this? And then what, I don't know, I guess maybe I'd like to talk to you or somebody else who works here to like clue us in on how disruptive would this be to people? Would it be, people would not care one way or the other or what?
Well, I
don't
think
really
we
know.
just, we need to give a little lead time so I can.
Like a
figure
week,
out
you would
a
have
plan.
to let.
I
them
have to
know
let
that
people
we're
know.
coming.
Yeah.
Would you be doing it in every workspace in the whole building? Is that what you
No.
would do? Or would it be more like the
It would be
public
the
spaces?
restrooms.
maybe you and I can meet and decide exactly what we think we need to do and then tell you what we come up with.
Okay,
And then,
I would just say, just pinpoint just a few areas. You don't have to do the whole, because if a few areas are bad, then that is exposure that's saying we need help.
My other thought is focus on the public areas.
Oh,
Exactly.
Like if
that's-
people
yes,
don't need
yeah.
the building commissioner,
That's what we
Yeah.
should focus on. Yeah, we
Right.
don't have, yeah.
entranceways, countertops,
Right.
where you're
Restroom.
interacting,
Okay.
restrooms.
So I really think you should take a couple steps back.
Okay.
It's my personal opinion. I think instead of jumping right into it, I think you guys should
Plan
come up
it.
with a list of what are the, because you want to be consistent when you're going building to building. So come up with a
Exactly.
list of what are the things you're gonna check for. You're gonna check for the restrooms. You're gonna check the door. You're gonna check the height of the toilet, the height of the sink.
Okay,
You're gonna look at the countertops. You're gonna look at access to doors, like all those things. And then you have like a check for each building, so you're consistent, because otherwise, if you go in a free-for-all, they're gonna be like, well, you went to that building and looked at that, but you didn't look at this. Like, I think you have to
Yeah.
be much more thoughtful about this than just saying, we're gonna come here next
Show
month.
up, yeah.
So the plan is,
I
that
agree with you.
everybody,
I know,
everybody
just
put
don't have
together
any
some.
quibble
I
with
think
that.
If everybody put together an idea, then we just take it from there.
Or is there
I
a
think-
model in that, an
Yes.
example?
yeah, it's all in. here.
I think
Okay.
that we can probably rely on Drew and Jean
think
to
so.
meet and come up with.
I think you can, and here's why, because Gene has shared this
Right.
before with me, and this is like a complete program.
Mhm.
And there's a lot of detail of just what you're talking about. And I think if we really think it through, just
Yeah.
like you're saying.
Yeah.
We will have something that's. at least
And
a
I
good
think,
start.
to Mary's point, I
Yeah.
think it's like, plan it all out.
Right.
And then we can figure out a time to
So
actually.
we should bring this to the
You know.
next meeting of the commission.
Wait till
We shouldn't
next
like,
week, bring
just-
your Plan.
we shouldn't just call you up and say, hey, in 3 weeks, we're gonna do this right before the commission meeting. And what a great
Put it down
surprise.
for the
No, we're not
agenda.
gonna do that.
I did kind of think that's what we would do. Why we?
We
throwing
could.
It out?
Because we're very bureaucratic and stodgy, unlike certain people like Jean, who's a go-getter. She
Alright.
just sits there and goes, what's wrong with these people? They got no guts.
I don't know if we're gonna have time because, we only got like a few minutes, so let me just briefly just tell you about this. On the procedures that we had put together that were once called bylaws that are now procedures. I went over everything. I don't know if anybody else did. And I made a list, okay? So like on page 1, let me,
Each one.
Gail, I feel like we should
okay,
talk for the next meeting.
okay.
I
I-
don't know, I just feel like we're gonna
It's
jump
done.
into
Okay,
something.
can I just say one thing then? Let me just, because I'm not bringing these books back. It's too heavy. for me. I just want to tell you that I made up these books. And the commission can decide what they want to do.
You want to give us the books?
This one here is called the YCOD Essential Guide Handbook for Members,
Yeah,
okay?
Wow.
Inside, oh, by the way, we dedicated this to Evelyn Beal, the founder.
Thank you
yay.
very much.
Doesn't even know that.
You're so famous, Evelyn.
Yeah.
It's not fun.
Oh,
So anyway, Sarah will take care of this. She'll look at it and see if this is appropriate. But it has nothing more than just information about where we began. And where we began was from this lady here, Miss Evelyn Beal.
Very nice.
She had written a letter. none
Oh,
of-
it's like
maybe-
historical document.
Yeah, to some gentleman, Philip, Dead, right, town clerk. So we want to, let everybody know. The next thing is, we come up with, Jean and I had worked on bylaws, but we changed the procedures, which is fine. The intent of this book is when somebody is coming into a commission like ours and doesn't know a thing, it really can be very confusing, especially if you're not, involved in all these other,
Yeah.
what do you call it, nonprofit organizations. So by having this book, I know the handbook that the town puts out is a wonderful handbook, but there's a lot of that information we don't need. So I feel that if we extrapolate just what we want and it's at our fingertips, it'll give us a fast track, it'll put you right ahead of the game. And basically, it's just talks about the purpose, and that's nothing more than, by the way, that exactly the Massachusetts law on chapter 40, sections 8J, which brings me to when it says to support the full integration, the actual law states to cause. So that's something that we should take a second look at. And that was part of the deal of
Gail, did you
changing
bring a
things.
book, one book for all of us?
not yet.
Oh,
So,
because I was
I
gonna
can't do
say,
that. I can't do that until we talk about what we're doing so that,
Yeah.
because I bought the books thinking that this would be good.
you could
idea.
explain at the next meeting.
But no, I'm just going, and then, okay, so we did all that here. So
Getting back.
basically, I know, basically it's talking about, things at our fingertips. Over here, what you do in a meeting quickly, like how do we make a motion and things of that nature? I have no clue, I didn't know any of that stuff. So
Okay,
and then parliamentary procedures, further on, what motions are. And so on and so forth. And I think that and again, we have the Bible from the town.
Are both books the same?
No.
No, this one here is something different. So basically, this is what this book involves. And then we have keep your minute meetings. I have them all over the place. So now I'm going to put them in one book, okay? And then the last part is just miscellaneous, and one of them was tax incentives and things of that nature. And always in the front, you can, keep
That
your
must have taken you
certificate.
a tremendous amount of time. Thank you.
Yeah. So anyways, that's one of them. So the HR person can take a look at it because that's her. The second one is my Bible that I use. It's called the Chairperson Handbook. This is something that we will pass on. I will pass this on to the next chairperson. And they can just look at it and say, yeah, I'll have to use it or I won't use it. But basically, it's the same thing. This involves when a person decides that they're interested and thinking about becoming a member, instead of retyping everything, we have dear friends, remember you got the letter? You got all the information, so you knew where to go to, right? But if I had something like this available, like with the bylaws, I would have just gave you that. You wouldn't have to hunt around, because I'm sure when you hunted around, it wasn't that easy, correct? You had to go back.
It's
and
fine. Yeah,
I mean, it was easy, but I.
Yeah. I mean, it's good to have it in writing and
Yeah, and
easy
everything's right.
access to hand someone. Here's your handbook when you're thinking about it.
So, and then we have basically, again, all that information pertaining to what, to be a member. The next one is the table of contents. Oh, this is on my stuff. We developed the bylaws. We needed to extrapolate a lot of information. So that was done.
That's the elevator.
And I just took it.
I'm gonna
and
have
then
to
I
go.
kept on it.
Gail, I gotta
Okay.
run.
Then the last thing is,
Did we
this is
adjourn
something
the
that
meeting?
Dave did that I like.
I'm sorry,
Submitted form
Gail.
assignments. Thank you, Dave. Thank you, Drew, very much.
Thank you.
Hey, Drew, thank you.
Hey, Drew, we'll
So
be
we're
in
gonna quit.
touch.
Yes, we will get together
Okay.
and then we'll. we'll
Plan.
probably-
Very nice.
Yeah, so anyway,
But I
it's just that,
we will.
I just find that it's just information that can be passed on. And so when you're not,
Mary,
you know.
I appreciated all your comments,
Sorry, I'm a big.
step by step.
Thanks, guys.
Really helpful.
I think we can
Thank you.
adjourn. Let's adjourn.
You have.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you.
Adjourn?
Yeah, I'm
I won't
entertaining a
do.
motion to adjourn,
I move we
Second.
adjourn.
and I hear a second. Great.
Happy
Sorry, I had to run
Thanksgiving.
quick.
Drew,
Thank you.
Drew, I have to hear your answer. You accept your motion to? Yes. Jean,
You accept
Bye-bye.
the motion to
Happy
adjourn?
Thanksgiving.
Happy
Donna?
Thanksgiving.
Yes.
Donna,
Yes.
Yes.
Mary, Gail, yes. Thank you.
All right, we're adjourned. Bye, Evelyn.
Bye, Evelyn.
Have a wonderful day. Have a wonderful Thanksgiving.
Happy
Thank you.
Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving,
Thank
Evelyn.
you.